wanna sing, but I can't speak. I'm paralyzed when you're next to me, running on dreams, 'cause I can't see how this could be reality. You're holding me close, but I don't know. Do I let you in? Do I let it show? All of my fears and all of these ghosts are the only things I've ever.
Hey everyone, happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of Morning Coffee with your host, Rick Alexander. If you guys are digging this show, as always, share it with me, share it with your friends. I am at Rick Alexander _ on Instagram, and I'm at Lionheart Radio. The intro music was provided by Brittany Taylor, and she is at Barbell Brittany on Instagram. I know it's a lot to ask for you guys to always be sharing the show and maybe even go to iTunes, leave a 5-star review. I totally get that that's a huge ask, but the only way we can keep this show free and continue to provide it is if we grow it and get the support where we need to, get the listenership where we need to in order to continue this thing. I really appreciate y'all's input and just being willing to take this ride with me. Today I wanted to talk about something that I think all of us are intimately familiar with, and that is the idea of whether or not people change. Now, the way that we think about this often is within the context of a relationship. So probably you've been this person before, or maybe you have dated this person before, but y'all break up, and then when you are wanting to get back together or thinking about figuring it out, the other person's like, I can change, I swear. And I think everybody has their own opinions on whether or not people actually change. I think a lot of people probably deep down don't believe people really do change. I don't believe people change, at least not in the way that we might be thinking of it. So I have a belief system about the world, and just as a quick side note, I think that flushing out the way that you believe about things, like actually like putting time into thinking about how you think about certain things, like it might sound inconsequential to be like, okay, well, do people change or do they not? Doesn't really matter. It's more of like a passing conversation. But I actually think it's really important that you invest time in yourself in believing and figuring out what you believe about the world and the people around you, because then when things happen, you have a structure, you have a framework in which you can put all of the things that are happening. And so if you have the ability to take the things that are happening and put them into a structure, then you have a much easier way of actually navigating through all of the chaos that is life. And so a lot of times these shows are based on different belief systems that I've crafted and thought about over a long period of time. Because I found in my own life, when I go through adversity or turmoil or anything like that, I actually have the ability to take what I don't understand, whatever's happening, whatever somebody has done to me, and then I put it in that belief system. I think, well, does this make sense? Does this make sense in the context of what I believe to be true about the world? And that is a really beneficial experience, like I said, because it gives you structure around the things that happen to you, through you, or around you. Okay, so one of the things that I believe about the world, I don't believe people change in the sense that you just wake up and decide to be somebody else. I think that's really hard. You have years and years of conditioning that has created the person that you are today. And so I do not believe that you can just undo all of that conditioning, if I'm being honest with myself. I don't think you can wake up tomorrow and wade through thought patterns and programming and all of these different beliefs that you've had kind of driven into your head over the years and just change that just by way of doing it. What I do believe is that there's a person that you should be in the world. Let's call it your most actualized potential, right? So if you were to fulfill your potential in every single aspect of your life, health, wealth, how you look, how you feel, how you perform, all of these different things, there is a person in the world that you are supposed to be. And that person is the complete manifestation of what you would be if you were to fulfill your potential to the highest level in all aspects. So what I believe is that people don't necessarily change. I believe that they become more or less of who they're actually supposed to be. And so if you think about your idealized self in the world and who you would want to be, how you want to show up in relationships, how you want to show up at work, how you want to show up just every single day in the world, and then the actions that you're doing now, think about whether those are making you more or less of that person. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be a completely different group of stardust. Like, that is just not going to be the thing that happens to you. But what does happen is you evolve and you become more or less of who you're supposed to be. So if you are, let's say, having problems with addictions or doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing, that deep down you don't even want to really be doing, right? My argument would be you're just actually becoming you're becoming less of the person that you actually should be in the world. And most of the times, the best way to look at it is, are you delaying gratification or not? Because if you're not, then chances are you're becoming less of who you actually should be in the world. And so one of the things I always ask myself when I get in these ruts of like feeling like I'm doing the thing I don't want to do too often, or if I'm making more poor decisions, the thing that I ask myself is, well, am I nothing more than the sum of my impulses? And that answer is, of course I'm not. Of course, I know exactly who I want to be in the world. I just need to start making better decisions so that I can start becoming more of that person and not less of that person. I can't let the war of right now, the things that I want right now, the desires I have right now, I can't let those things win over the person I actually want to be in the world, because to a certain degree, when I let those things win, I become less of the person I actually want to be. And so if you ask me, do people change? No, you're just you. You have the you who you are now. You have the you who you actually could be, and you're going to become more or you're going to become less of that person, depending on the decisions that you make, the impulses that you succumb to, or the habits that you build in your life, which will ultimately help you to continue to fulfill the potential of who you could be. At least that's the way I see it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on Morning Coffee.
I've been trying to find this vibe for a long time. Always seeming like it's coming on its own time. But it feels so good, ain't gonna lie. My ride or die, feels so good, ain't gonna lie. Now that last goodbye, all the way up and you can't take this. Cause it's feeling so real that you can't fake this. But it feels so good, ain't gonna lie. My ride or die, feels so good, ain't gonna lie. Now that last goodbye, we ain't never gonna quit. We ain't never gonna quit it, boy. Nah, we ain't never gonna quit. Nah, we ain't never gonna quit it. Always trying to mate. The temperature be rising. What's going on? I could've sworn that you be psychic. 1-800. You push my buttons, I'm like Tyson. Been years since I felt like this. So blessed. Gonna ask if you can stay. For the rest, I'm alive cause I need you. Real joy in my life, yeah, I need you. Just be you. We ain't never gonna quit. We ain't never gonna quit it, boy. Nah, we ain't never gonna quit. Nah, we ain't never gonna quit it. Every day's a gift, just take it as it comes. Embrace it through the mist, weather, rain or sun. Every day is a gift, you got air up in your lungs. Be grateful, rain or sun. Every day's a gift, just take it as it comes. Embrace it through the mist, weather, rain or sun. Every day's a gift, you got air up in your lungs. Grateful, rain or sun.